Brought to you by The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Available now.
Gentlemen, Erick Tay is on the couch, which means we must be talking about...
The Big D.
The Big D. Let's talk about
Erick's
big hunkin' D.
Yeah.
Erick Tay, Destiny, second expansion pack, House of
What's up?
Wolves. Bam, it's happening. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, came out today, this morning, 10 a.m. Fallen people have betrayed the queen, so she's like, why don't you come help me out and kill these guys and we'll give you stuff.
Yeah?
Who doesn't want to get stuff and be a guardian?
What type of stuff?
Exotics, legendaries. Like Andy just hopped in actually, like more recently, and we kind of actually Josh Sherpa'd him through a little bit today, and he got his first
Sherpa?
exotic. Yeah, you got Sherpa'd.
That's pretty good.
Sure was your first
Oh, man,
exotic?
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay
Hawkman
me.
was his
He
first
put
one.
you on his back.
I know, he carried me.
He put the team on his
He
back.
carried me. I'm getting the easy.
So
easy
you
life,
started
baby.
back playing Destiny like only...
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you level up just for House of Wolves?
I was trying. I've only gotten to like 27 now. But, okay, so Tay,
Yes.
you're downplaying your hype. You were so hyped today.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah,
like
dude.
I had taken a
Go back
break
to the beginning.
from playing Destiny because I was just burnt out. I played way too much. Everyone knows it, and I was like, I was a little skeptical about this just because it's like, okay, they didn't have a raid, and the raid was kind of like their big thing.
Yeah.
But now they have two different kind of end game activities instead. One is a PvP, more PvP oriented, and one is a PvE one, which is the Prison of Elders, which Andy and I got to play earlier. It's kind of like Horde mode with a twist, except there's like different rooms and different enemies, and there's like objectives that you have to go through, like defuse a mine. So you and your teammates, it's a group of 3 now instead of 6 on like a raid.
Yeah.
You
That's cool.
guys try to communicate with each other, like we got to get to A and defuse that, and like, oh, be careful though. There's all these monsters trying to like shoot you too. So
As an endless mode as well?
it's not endless. There's, I think, 5 rounds for the 28, the 32, and the 34, and then there's a 35 version,
Right.
which has like the big boss kind of guy.
Solid Snake, got it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, story was great too. I didn't get to play story when I went up to Bungie, so getting to see some of this stuff was cool. That jumping puzzle kind of thing that we just showed right there
I'll cut back
actually
to it,
is
yeah.
like really fun.
Yeah.
It's one of like the more unique things that happened in Destiny.
Yeah, it's like when, with the raid
originally.
stuff when they started like mixing it up.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
putting it-
exactly.
So is this? Do you feel like this sort of punches a bit harder than the Dark Below did?
Yeah, I think there's more new stuff, and I think they definitely did a better job kind of leading up to this one than they've been actually slowly getting better. With Dark Below, they added some content that you could play before the expansion, kind of like a WoW, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know how like when WoW expansions come out, they're
Patch
like,
it.
yeah, they
Just
give you
before,
that
yeah.
big patch, like that meaty patch right before, and things start to turn different ways. They did that a little bit with Dark Below, but they really kind of did it with House of Wolves this time. And basically, there are all these like mini events that you could do leading up to today, where you hunted bad guys and like bad fallen guys, which is like themed with this expansion. And that kind of stuff's cool. Like, and they gave you some other stuff as well, but that's like kind of the main point of it. But yeah, I think accessibility-wise, it's more accessible than it was originally.
Actually, let's talk about that,
So, yeah.
Andy, because
Well,
you
yeah,
you
'cause-
started back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like this was something that you needed to like power level up to, or like catch up with narrative to, or were you kind of easy? Were you able to like grab it pretty quick?
Well, okay, so like this coming, a lot of people play Destiny. A lot of people are hardcore into Destiny. That's undisputable, right? So I was like, why? Because we played on the live stream. You were not. You were cold on it.
Yeah.
Kevin's review was cold on it, and I was like, but I remember playing through the first couple levels on the Xbox One and really liking the way it controlled. Granted, I don't really play shooters on console. I try not to.
Yeah, you play Wolfenstein, for instance, on PC.
Exactly. I play everything on PC as much as I can. But I really was impressed with the controls on Xbox One, and I was like, wow, the auto aim is beautifully done. Like, it's so good, and they reward you for that stuff. And getting headshots and stuff, the hand cannon, it's like addicting. Just the way it shoots is just so
Got that
good.
Bungie seal of quality for shooting.
Like, it cannot be understated. Also, what cannot be understated is the story is garbage. Or not garbage, just, it's just like not, there's nothing there. It's like Aaron Sampson, our guy here, it's a paragraph of a story. That's all they tell you, right? So like that first playthrough where you go through all the missions, that's nothing. the game hasn't even started, which a lot of people hate that's the fact, right?
But the game has started.
Right, and it
You're
started
literally
and
playing
finished.
hours and hours of that.
Like,
yeah.
as far as a traditional review, like this is maybe one of the problems we face as a website going forward. The traditional review starts and ends at that point, basically, because you got to move on to the next thing. You got to put a score on it, ship the review. That's when the game starts, though. They warmed you up. They told you how things work. They showed you the enemies and showed you the places you're going to be going back to over and over.
So you think
but
now
down the game goes, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go do the mission again. Oh, but there's a boss battle this time that's like 10 times bigger than anyone you face in the game, and you're with your buddies because all of them are playing too. So you want to get on it, and everything's great. And it's like, I don't know. I can't.
I think that's.
I can't really express like how much I'm enjoying Destiny because it's. Like I know I'm not supposed to. Maybe that's what I'm like feeling guilty about it.
No,
I'm loving it. Maybe I shouldn't tell mom and dad. Like, you know what I mean? And yeah, like this new stuff they just added today is like a whole bunch of stuff that
Like the Scrooge McDuck shit.
yeah, the Scrooge stuff like
this
going here, dive in the
is
gold.
like one of the bigger things too, right? Like in the past, there were ways that you could kind of get stuff like loot and like gear and stuff like that, and it was kind of like luck based-ish, you know? It's like, oh, I might get something, I might not. But here you have something like this,
didn't
which
know
is
it
the
was
Prison of
supposed to be a big
Elders, which is a new PvE element. There's 4 versions. And thanks, Josh Shaw.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you're guaranteed loot, right? That big chest.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed an exotic. You're guaranteed a weapon. So now at
I
least
got an
when
exotic
you finish
hand
it.
cannon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he was losing
And
his
I'm
shit because he's never gotten
27,
one.
yeah.
So that's the good part. There's a bunch of quality of life
Cockman,
stuff that's
baby.
come through like since the beginning. It's very different. The Destiny phone app is amazing. I haven't seen a game really use
fucking-
a phone app the way.
Yeah,
It's
but he was like,
amazing.
have you downloaded the phone? No,
Dude, the phone app is revolutionary.
let me put this into
Okay?
perspective.
It is
though.
legit.
Yeah.
Did Tay get a job at Bungie? What's going on?
It's
Dude,
Let me put this
the
into
phone app
perspective though,
is so good.
Because I'm still trying to make a game plan of how to level, right? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 27, I gotta get, because the only way to level is like your armor has more light, and then that levels
Yes.
it, right? It's kind of confusing, but it's self-explanatory once you're in it. I'm like, okay, so what happens when you're 32? Because you guys have 32s, and then they're telling me, oh, not only do we have one 32, we have 3 32s, and I'm like, okay, so you guys have done all this, gotten to the end, and then done it again twice. So like, so they just like go
Hot
through
swapping.
it again and again, and then not only that, I think only Josh has done 3 different classes. They're
Yes.
doing the same class
Oh, really?
on 2
We have
different
2.
characters,
But-
Shit.
because there's reasons for that, and like so I think it's like the meat of this game, like the shooting, the boss battles, the teamwork, the persistence. Like you're going into this world, you're doing all this stuff, and then it stays there. Like, you know, it's addicting, and so they're going back and doing it again.
And now you're in.
So I'm in because,
Oh, Andy.
and this is
Chris
what's changing
was
my
in before.
perception about shooters. Is like, okay, so Wolfenstein comes out. It's like, I love the way that game works. I love sliding around, shooting Nazis, and doing cool stuff. But it's like, but wait, I don't get anything for it.
You get fun.
Here's the thing.
get-
I get some fun,
Entertainment?
but I get fun
You
in
get-
Destiny, and I get a new gun, and a new armor set, and I get to go hang out with my buddies and shoot a big boss, kind of like. So I hated Bloodborne, or
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but like I don't get those games, I don't play them. But this is kind of like, oh, these boss battles are cool. You got to figure them out. They're real hard. There's lots of stuff. It's like kind of like Bloodborne, but a shooter.
I'm having serious flashbacks to me, like at the end of last year,
And then it's all
before
gonna go
Crota
down?
came out.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
I was like running with these guys. Like we were raiding frequently. Like I didn't have multiple characters, but like playing pretty frequently, like same stuff over and over again, and the same stuff, like the camaraderie, the rewards, like that. There is appeal there. There is,
Yeah.
and obviously the mechanics. I think no one disputes that mechanically that game is stellar. I'd just be interested to see how you feel in like 4
So what-
weeks when there's
all right.
not new
That,
content.
that,
throw it
that,
in
that,
there.
that's
Let's
the
go to
thing.
Chris.
That is the
Can I
thing.
throw it
That
in?
is probably the thing.
So what
And
happens?
so, well,
though?
that's the question for Eric. Is my question is like, all right, coming back to House of Wolves, you talked about a bunch of new stuff, and obviously the new stuff is fun to do, literally the day it comes out. But like, do you see like in terms of the longevity of House of Wolves versus Crota, or versus just the core Destiny stuff? Do you see any real difference or anything that?
So with Crota, it lasted longer because what they did was they timed stuff out. They said, here's the normal raid. You can do it in, I don't remember the time frame, but it's like, you can do it now. But you can't do the hard one for another month or whatever it was, 4 to 6 weeks. So basically they kind of spaced you out in terms of like, okay, you get at least 2 months potentially, right? Because you are forced behind a lock of you can't play this.
Which is basically them giving you 80% of the expansion and then being like, you can have the other 20 in a month. I don't know how people didn't lose their shit about that, the way that people lose their shit about DLC for a full game.
Part of it was you probably might not beat it the first week. So maybe it takes you 2 weeks anyway. So like you're learning and it takes time. Like
That's true.
There's different sets of skills for people, right? There's like, your high end, your hardcore, and then you're like novice or amateur, whatever, right? And so they go at different paces. You have multiple characters, blah, blah, blah. This was also probably a ploy to stretch it out. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
It's probably to stretch it out.
Do you think they need to do that with House of Wolves?
I don't think they can unless they have stuff that they haven't talked about. I don't think they necessarily need to, but...
You're satisfied as a player of Destiny?
Let's put it in perspective, though, because we played, how long did we play this morning? We're already done with the story missions.
Yeah. So do you think there's enough content there to, like, are you happy as a Destiny player, somebody who pumps a lot of hours into this game with what's in House of Wolves?
I am happy with it, but it's, like, for me, I'm going to play the crap out of it this week, and with whoever needs help, whatever, and then continue to do it for, like, probably, like, a month, like Chris said, maybe 6 weeks-ish, and then... maybe play Witcher on the side or something for the first time.
And then when the next expansion pack comes out,
exactly.
come back again.
It's like a WoW thing, though, right? It's everyone's excited for, even though the content is different than WoW content because like it's more heavy or whatever. But they're excited for new content, right? And they're excited to do stuff they've never done before, which it is, which they have 2 new avenues, right? Which because like they've never had these things before, and so you play it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, this is really fun. Play both of them, and then you're just gonna be like, okay, every 2 days a week, I'm gonna do it, finish, and then I'll probably
like
play
slowly
something
peters
else.
off,
And then slowly peters
and then
off.
you're back in.
I've also
again,
been playing only like about an hour and a half a night, except for like on Sunday I played a pretty long stretch. But like, I'm not binging so much, which maybe helps.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens if you're still playing in a month. If you're
we'll
still
see.
playing in a month,
Chris,
if you're
get
still
back in.
playing
We'll check it
after
out.
E3, I'll fucking get in.
I'll be playing Addy.
Whoa!
I'll level up. I'll do a full
Excuse me?
32.
Whoa,
If you're still
whoa,
playing
whoa.
after
Excuse
E3,
me.
I'll do a full. Whatever. 32. What's the top limit?
Yeah,
So he just has to get to 32, and you'll play?
No.
No. So
If
if he's still playing
He's still
after
playing
E3,
on the
I'll get
regular.
it.
E3's not that far away.
It's not that far away.
Like less than
It's
a
just
month.
around the corner.
So I still have a lot to do though. Like if I was already 32,
This one's faster. Don't worry.
you'll
You'll get there.
All right. Well.
You'll
That'd
get
be
there
a
because I want to
question
force
mark
him to
for
play it.
Great.
dude, come on, it's fun.
All right. In the team. All right. That's the lobby for this week.